And a very warm welcome to Pension Matters, the pension awareness program where we teach you all you need to know about the contributory pension scheme, as well as other pension-related issues. My name is Princess Rabi Ibrahim, and I'm so glad to have you join us. On today's episode of the program, we'll be discussing the activities of the Research and Strategy Management Department of the National Pension Commission. For details of this and more, stay with us as the program will continue shortly. Welcome back. The program is Pension Matters. It is now time for us to tell you what is trailing in the pension industry with Adanze Okorocha. Ada, is over to you.
Thank you very much, Princess. Viewers, welcome to Pension Trail. My name is Adanze Okorocha. First on our story today, Lagos State pays 1.5 billion naira to retirees. The Lagos State government, through Lagos State Pension Commission, has paid 333 retirees the sum of 1.5 billion naira for the month of October 2016. The Director General of the Commission, Mrs. Falashade Onanuga, said that the payment of accrued pension rights is structured in such a way that one does not need to know anyone before he or she could be paid. Furthermore, Premium Pension pays retirees. The Managing Director of Premium Pension Limited, Mr. Wilson Ideva, says the company holds more than 744,000 contributory retirement service accounts of retirees and has paid 113 billion naira as pension. Mr. Ideva said, since the enactment of Pension Reform Act 2004, the company has recorded some successes and had assets in excess of about 400 million naira. According to him, the company marked its Compliance and Ethics Week in line with Global Compliance and Ethics with the theme Provide, Protect and Prevent. The company is leaving no stone unturned to ensure that they maintain their highly respectable position in the pension industry. Lastly, Contributory Pension Fund hits 5.9 trillion naira. The Director General, National Pension Commission, PenCom, Mrs. Chinelo Anaho Amazu, said the Nigeria Contributory Pension Fund has risen to about 5.9 trillion naira as at 31st October 2016. The DG PenCom stated that the Contributory Pension Fund is being invested in a structured and safe financial instrument, adding that it has in its record registration of 7.2 million pension contributors, 170,000 retirees under the contributory pension scheme. Viewers, that's the much we can take on Pension Trail today. Let's get back to Princess for more on pension matters.
Thank you, Adanze, for telling us what has been trailing in the pension industry this week. Viewers, the program is Pension Matters, and up next will be Pension Education. Enjoy.
Today, pension education focuses on additional voluntary contributions. The enactment of the Pension Reform Act in 2004, later amended in 2014, made provision for the increase of pension contributions through the additional voluntary contributions. Additional voluntary contributions is the discretionary contribution deducted from an employee's monthly emolument by the employer and remitted into the retirement savings account along with the regular pension contributions. Every employee covered under the contributory pension scheme is eligible to make additional voluntary contributions as stated in Section 4, Subsection 3 of the Pension Reform Act 2014, that any employee to whom this act applies may, in addition to the total contributions being made by him and his employer, make voluntary contributions to his retirement savings account. One of the benefits of the additional voluntary contribution is it provides you with additional funds and financial strength at retirement. You can also withdraw from or liquidate your additional voluntary contribution at any time, though it must be noted that if a withdrawal or liquidation is made within 5 years after the additional voluntary contribution was remitted, there will be a tax charge, as tax exemption only applies to contributions that remain invested for a minimum of 5 years. Section 10, subsection 4 of the Act stipulates that, without prejudice to the provisions of subsection 2 of this section, Any income earned on any voluntary contribution made under Section 4, subsection 3 of this Act shall be subject to tax at the point of withdrawal, where the withdrawal is made before the end of 5 years from the date the voluntary contribution was made. A major difference from the regular pension contribution is one is at liberty to decide the amount to contribute and when, in addition to the statutory pension contribution. That is, additional voluntary contributions can be made monthly, quarterly, biannually, or annually. Aside boosting your retirement funds, additional voluntary contributions can also serve as a form of targeted savings towards specific projects, such as mortgages, children's school fees, or a dream vacation. To make an additional voluntary contribution, all you need to do is inform the relevant department in your organization, which could be Human Resources or Finance, about your desire to make voluntary contributions, stating the amount and frequency. In the event that you decide to withdraw from or liquidate your additional voluntary contributions, all you need to do is complete and submit a benefit withdrawal form with a passport photograph attached and a letter requesting your funds. Your application will be processed and benefits paid within 2 weeks. This is all we have on pension education today. Thanks for watching.
That was a pension education, and today it was an additional voluntary contribution. That is the additional contribution you make into your retirement savings account aside from the stipulated pension contribution. If you're just joining us, the program is Pension Matters, and it is now time for Up Close segment. In the Up Close segment today, we'll be discussing with Dr. Farouk Aminu, Head, Research and Strategy Management Department of the National Pension Commission. Dr. Farouk, you're welcome to the program.
Thank you, Princess.
Dr. Farouk, most people that retired since last year, October, are yet to assess their retirement benefits. What is responsible for this, and what do you think can be done about it?
It's true that a lot of people who retired, particularly at the federal service, from Treasury-funded ministries, departments, and agencies of the federal government, are yet to get their pensions from November 2015 to date. Largely, the component of the retirement savings account are two for retirees.
Okay.
There is what we call the accrued benefits for the services these people rendered while they were working for the federal government before the pension reform of 2004. And there is the contributions they made plus whatever return on investment earned for them on these investments, or investment of their contributions. The two has to be put together for us to have a consolidated retirement savings account. And then we determine the size of the account that stipulates what should be the lump sum amount that an individual can take, and also the pension, the monthly pension that that individual will be having for the rest of his or her life. Now, because of the financial situation in the country, the federal government has not been able to give these accrued benefits. Normally, what National Pension Commission does is that by June, July, August of every year, we do an enrollment program,
Okay.
During which we enroll all the prospective retirees of federal government for the coming year.
Okay.
We determine their number, we determine the size of the accrued benefits due to each one of them. We then put the figures together and advise the budget office, in this case the Ministry of Budget and National Planning.
Okay.
We advise them that this is the money and these are the people who are retiring next year. Can you make budgetary provision for them so that when they retire next year, they are going to have the accrued benefits and hence they have their pensions? We have done that, and we have been consistent in doing that. And we have advised the Ministry of Budget and National Planning in this case. But of course, everybody knew that the budget was approved in June last year, this year. Yes. And not only that, the financial situation of the federal government, wouldn't allow the government to pay this on a consistent basis. So it is because of the non-payment of these monies that we have not been able to consolidate the retirement savings accounts of these retirees, and so we have not been able to pay them their pension. This is basically the cause of the problem. And if you look at those retiring from state governments, those retiring from the private sector, those retiring from other agencies of the federal government that are not treasury funded, they don't have this problem. It's only retirees of the federal government from ministries, departments, and agencies that are being funded by the treasury that are having this issue, because we have to wait for the federal government to give that money before the amount is paid.
Dr. Farouk, what is normally the practice? A preparation is made for those that will retire, because I know you conduct pre-retirement verification exercise a year in advance.
Yes.
And when you do this, you take this to the national planning and budget and national planning. I was thinking that as soon as the budget is approved, monies that is meant for this kind of people, especially pension, which is very delicate, should be released as and when due by the Office of the Accountant General of the Federation or Federal Minister of Finance.
Well, yes, I mean, the budgetary provision has been made by the government.
Yes.
But the releases are not, coming consistently.
Why are the releases not coming consistently?
That's what I was trying to say. The kind of financial situation we are in the, in the country at the moment, we don't allow federal government to be consistent with, with these payments on monthly basis. But indeed, a lot of write-ups have been made. We took this matter even to the presidency. We have been discussing with the Federal Ministry of Finance, Federal Ministry of Budget and National Planning. I've been talking to the two committees of the National Assembly, Senate Committee, the relevant committees in the Senate and the House of Representatives. We are hoping that very soon we'll be able to resolve this issue, and we have this monies released, and we'll be able to pay the monies for these affected retirees.
Dr. Farouk, I've discovered that most private sectors do not comply to the regulatory guidelines, regulating the contributory pension scheme, such as remittance of pension contribution to retirement savings account and picking up some vital insurance policies as stipulated by the Pension Reform Act of 2014. So what is the Commission doing to make sure that this does not go on?
Well, I think the fundamental problem in this country is that we don't have clear records, robust database of employers of labor. So if we want to ensure compliance and chase employers of labor to comply, we don't know all of them.
Exactly, I agree with you.
Most of them really are like out of the radar, you can say. We don't have any details of them. So we have resorted to three things. Number one, which the federal government has graciously agreed and included in the Public Procurement Act of, in the Public Procurement Act of 2007, that any company that is going to do any business with the federal government must show certificate of compliance. This certificate of compliance is being issued by National Pension Commission, and then we won't issue it to you until you pay all outstanding pension contributions for your employees, and you also show payment of the group life insurance. You have to show us these two before we issue the certificate to that company, and then only that company can bid for any contract. So this has helped us a lot, actually. It has helped us a lot. And we have, at the commission level, we have engaged recovery agents that we send out to go and follow up all employers of labor. But Nigeria is big and diverse.
That's true.
Initially, we engaged 173 recovery agents, which are accounting and legal firms across the country. And they have done some tremendous work, recovered a lot of pension contributions with penalties. Because they didn't just recover the contribution, but also impose some penalties which were agreed by the commission that this was they will impose. And then these penalties will serve as like missing interest missing income on this contribution that will go into the retirement savings accounts of these affected individuals.
I'm happy to hear that, Dr. Farouk, but we'll take a short break now. We'll come back. You'll give us more of insight into all these activities. Viewers, the program is Pension Matters, and we'll take a short break now. When we'll come back, Dr. Farouk will give us more insight. Don't go away.
Do you know there is a new pension scheme in Nigeria? It is mandatory, it is contributory, it is fully funded, based on individual retirement savings account. Under the supervision of the National Pensions Commission, the new pension scheme guarantees lifelong financial independence for every citizen of Nigeria in public or private employment. PenCom says it's a new dawn. Call the National Pensions Commission now or log on to www.pencom.gov.ng for further details. PenCom, your contribution counts.
Welcome back. Doctor, before the break, you were giving us insight of the activities of the recovery agents appointed by National Pension Commission.
I would like to add that the most important regulator of the pension industry is the contributor, the owner of the retirement savings account, because he or she knows whether the pension contributions are coming in good time or they are not coming in good time. If every employee would write to PenCom or was missing pension contribution would write to us, send us just an email with details, we will definitely chase out the employer, we will get your pension contribution, and then we also get the penalty.
But doctor, the employer may sack the employee.
No, he wouldn't know. The only thing is, okay, I work for National Pension Commission. National Pension Commission is also sending my pension contribution, so I just report. Okay, I report to the regulator. Or perhaps let's work it this way. I work for a company A. My company is not remitting my pension contributions as and when due. I reported to National Pension Commission. I just wrote an email. Okay, National Pension Commission. My company has not paid my pension contribution for this period. Yeah, so that's good enough. We'll take that and we'll send the recovery agents to go and investigate.
I want to find out from you, doctor, the issue of accrued right, because you mentioned it over and over again in the earlier question, in giving me answer to the earlier questions I asked you. You mentioned accrued right over and over again. So what is this accrued right? Please, for the benefit of our viewers, explain to them what is accrued right, and then why is the accrued right becoming problematic?
Viewers would remember that when the Pension Reform Act 2004 was signed into law, and the pension reform started on 1st July 2004, there were a lot of individuals who were working before that date.
Exactly.
Now, the transition period, that is the cut-off period that was set by the law, was 3 years. So that means anybody who would retire between 1st July 2003 and 1st July 2007, those individuals were exempted from the scheme. No, up to 30th of June.
Yes.
Okay, they are exempted from the scheme. But any other individual is part of the scheme. But those people would have contributed for at least 3 years, because from July 2004 to 1st July 2007, that's 3 years.
Yes.
And then upwards, as a 3 years at least, and then moving forward. Bulk of their money actually was what you call pension rights, based on the services they rendered to the federal government before the reform.
The enactment of the bill.
Yeah, before the enactment of the law, before the ascension of the law by Mr. President. So you will find out that a lot of people would have worked for either 32 years at most, or lower than 32 years, but at most 31 years plus some couple of months. Now, all those 31 years or less they worked for, they are not going to lose that money in terms of, they are not going to lose those years in terms of what constitutes the monies in their retirement savings accounts. So while they contributed and the PFS invested whatever little they have contributed, and they earn some return on investment on those contributions, they will also be given what has been determined as the pension right based on this 31 years or less.
Okay.
And this money is big. That is based on the past service. And it has been determined, and federal government has been advised. It came up to about 2 trillion naira approximately. But the federal government is not giving this money at a go because federal government does not have the 2 trillion naira to give everybody. And under the old pension scheme, for which these calculations were made, this computation of the accrued benefits were made, you might be qualified for pension, but you won't be eligible for a pension until you retire.
Exactly.
So that's why the eligibility criteria still hold for these people. You are not going to get the accrued rights until when you retire. Then you are eligible to have it. That's why we always wait until when somebody retires, that person is eligible, then he is eligible to have that money, and then he will have that money. So we do the computation a year before the actual retirement date of these individuals, and then we advise government so that we cut off any anticipated delay. But when there are situations like the one we passed through or are passing through in this country, where recession, no money by the government, then there is just no money to pay. Unfortunately, that is what is affecting the accrued rights at the moment.
Thank you very much, Doctor, for answering that question. I'm sure viewers, they are not much aware about when we say accrued right, what we're talking about. Finally, before I let go of you, Doctor, the year is coming to an end, and I want you to assess the pension industry. What I mean is this: both the operators and you, the regulators, that is National Pension Commission. How do you assess the pension industry for year 2016?
Personally, I have a view of what the industry is doing and what the corporate, as the commission, is doing, because I watch the implementation of our corporate and industry strategies. And I would say, really, without being immodest, we have done very well. If you look at the issues of the assets, the investments that are doing, the workings are doing to diversify the investments and earn more money for the contributors, and then invest in such a way that we make positive impact on the Nigerian economy, so that people who are contributing will use their pension contributions even before they retire. So you use what your money has been able to be invested in, okay, and then get return on investment for your pension. So you are using the money now, and you are creating some more money for yourself. Exactly. You know. So I think in these thoughts and these initiatives that we have introduced in the industry, really we can say the sky is the limit for the pension industry. Secondly, we have been trying to extend pension services, the pension products, to the informal sector and the self-employed through the macro pension. Now, this is an initiative of the commission and then the industry in general. We have been trying to conclude all the arrangements, the framework, the guideline, the infrastructure. The moment we really finish all these arrangements, pension will be for everybody.
I tried to tell us that definitely next year, the capturing the informal sectors, the artisans, will be done.
That's part of the initiative. In fact, our initial initiative, we want to start implementing this year, but as I said, we need to work on the guidelines, the framework, and the infrastructure. That's what is stalling the commencement of the implementation of the macro pension. But we are almost there, and as soon as we are done, you will see us, we'll hit the roads, and as I said, we'll make pension for everybody.
I'm very happy to hear that by next year that informal sectors will, key in to the contributory pension scheme. Dr. Farouk, I must thank you so very much for coming on the program today. At least you'll be able to enlighten and educate our viewers on the issue of accrued rights and what the commission is doing to make sure that you capture the informal sector by next year. Viewers, I've been discussing with Dr. Farouk Aminu of the National Pension Commission. He's been able to enlighten and educate us on the issue of accrued rights, and then how National Pension Commission, what they're trying to do to make sure by next year they start capturing the informal sector to join the contributory pension scheme. On that note, viewers, today we wrap up the program and hoping that you'll join us next week for another informative episode of Pension Matters. Until then, I remain yours, Precious Rabi Ibrahim, and I enjoy you to enjoy your weekend. God bless you. It's a temporary hiccup.
It's a temporary hiccup. Actually, we have had this hiccup about 2 times before, only that people had forgotten. This was the first time we're having this hiccup. We had it during the past administration. about 2 times, and it got also very, very bad. But I were able to, scale through the problem once the finances of the government improved, and then they made the releases, to us, and we were able to clear the backlog of all the outstanding payments. And they will go and investigate. And even sometimes we do investigation ourselves. At the commission we have compliance and enforcement department. That is one of their primary responsibilities. And they've been going out and they've been recovering monies from defaulting employers of labor.
That's interesting.
Yeah, but it's important that if you know that you have not been paid your contribution, let us know. And your identity will not be shown to your employer. Just write the info at PenCom. It's very strictly confidential. We'll chase and we'll find out.
And budget not being approved early enough.
Yeah, well, even if there is budget approval, but the government does not have the money. You have pipelines bumped here, no income by government. The government does not have enough to pay everything. So there will be delays in some expenditures.